Alright, everybody. Welcome to the Round 3 Pairings reveal for Final Fantasy Randomizer. My name is Tristal MTG, and welcome. With me on the mic today are Falconic.
How's it going, Tristal?
Hey, it's going well. And the champion of champions, Will Cleosis.
Pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
Alrighty. Let's just get to it. We've got a fresh crop of 2-0s, some 1-1s, and some 0-2s. Alright, let's see what random.org wants to do to us this week. Although I don't know if it can be quite as trolly as last week. Alright. So, we've got...
Hope everyone's excited. A new Walk the Plank class, a new captain.
That's right.
For the 2019 tournament coming up. That'll be after the matchups, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds correct. So, because this is round 3, we've got a couple things in play now. Number one, the records have shifted such that there's going to be a couple pair downs. There's 11 2-0s, so somebody's got to get paired down. The other thing that's coming into play is we have, because I'm doing these pairings manually, I'm able to prevent somebody from getting paired against the same opponent twice in the Swiss. And so you can see I've got this list of everybody each player has played. So if we happen to roll somebody, a matchup that's already occurred, we will simply re-roll it. There's one exception to this that I outlined in the Discord earlier this week, and that is the J. Coper Pizzapotamus potential matchup. Because they didn't actually race in round 1, if that matchup happens to come about, I'm just going to let that go. We also have one participant that dropped out of the tournament, and that is Ikbin Maya. He was a 2-0, so that kind of opens up the door a little bit for some stuff. Oh, I do notice an error. Thank you for pointing that out in chat, Rumblefish. Give me 1 second to correct that real quick before anything else. So, yeah, DD is 2. Yep, I put that record in incorrectly. Thank you for being honest and pointing that one out, Rumblefish. All right. And this one got over here. We have my list way down at the bottom of Fallen Warriors. All right. Let's begin. So we've got going from 2 on the spreadsheet to 12. We'll just start off from the top with the big 2-0 matches. And the last person...
Starting with the 2-0, nice.
Yeah, and the last person to remain of the 2-0s after the first 5 matches will be the pair down. All right, so our first matchup, we have Dangwu versus Crab Cakes.
Oh, Crab Mech 2-0. Will, you and I picked Crab to win this entire thing. Dangwu said earlier in chat he was going to need all the luck in the world from his fellow ducklings, and yeah, I think he's going to need more than all the luck in the world on this one.
Well, CC is going to take on all challengers, and Dengwu's a very formidable opponent. Mm-hmm. And if I know Dengwu, he's going to try to pull something out. Whether it works or not, I don't know, but looking forward to it.
I'll be watching that one for sure.
Alrighty, and next up we've got Solaris Drix versus Minochi 85.
That's a match to watch. Solaris has been on a tear recently. 2-0, 2-0. Certainly earned that 2-0, I would imagine. Minochi 85, though, the buzzsaw will. I couldn't pick a winner on that one.
Yeah, I wanted Minochi 85. I wanted him real bad, unfortunately. I'm going to have to find some other way to get at him. But Stellaris Strix, outstanding. It's not a flashy name. You don't see the name a lot. Just kicks butt and wins games.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me clean up the spreadsheet just a little bit so I don't have to re-roll a million times. Alrighty, next up is Tarnin versus Wilkliosis.
Oh, that's the matchup so far.
Yeah, me and Tarnin have only played once, and it was co-op. It was August 26, 2018. It was the Game Changers, me and you, Falconic, versus Tarnin and Lord Fizzlebeef. That's the only time we played. So this is a first time for me, and honor and a pleasure, and can't wait to play.
First time head to head, but you got the last one on him. Maybe he wants that revenge.
All right, well, we'll see if you get it this week. All right, coming up, we've got Lord of the Synth going up against One Fine Day.
Lord of the Synth versus One Fine Day. Did I hear that correct?
That's correct.
Again, another matchup that I think on paper might lean a little bit towards One Fine Day as far as the advantage, but Synth didn't get to 2-0 by accident.
No, he's the most improved player from last year by far.
Yeah, One Fine Day, buddy. I said this to a few people last week, but you might want to get a few more practice runs in this week.
All right, so we've got another thing that's come up since we've come down to it. Sonny Wrath 11 has already been paired down this tournament and cannot be paired down again. So Sonny Wrath will be facing either Shadow Walker or Edgeworth. Let's find out who. We've got Shadow Walker.
Sonny Wrath versus Shadow Walker. I'd be curious to see what both of them think about that matchup. And
couple of
Edge
players right
gets
there.
paired down. So Edge having a little bit of an interesting tournament. Got Jay Coper in week 2. Jay Coper, of course, got the freebie win in week 1 because Pizza was out. So it was kind of a pair down almost, and now it gets the pair down again. But luckily we can prevent that from happening again. So Edge won't get the pair down going forward. So we'll see. I know a lot of 1-1s are already deadly, but you just threw Edge into that mix. Certainly doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, I'm personally not feeling too great about the prospect of a Edgeworth match. And so we're down to Edgeworth getting paired down to one of the 1-1s. And as you can see, it's not going to be Arson Horse or Jay Coper, whom he's both played. So I'm crossing my fingers it's not me. We'll find out.
Yeah.
So we're going from
Please
4
not.
to 25. We've got number 12, Hangry Canuck.
Oh, they're friends. You see them a lot in each other's chats. They host each other. They talk. I gotta think right now, Hangry Canuck just cracked open 2 more beers and is probably yelling at something.
Hey, Canuck, beer's on ice, buddy. I'll have it ready for you, okay?
Yeah, that's Edgeworth is bad news for anybody. So that's a tough matchup. But you know, anything can happen. You could get crazy green Medusas, for example. So anything is possible. All right. Let's go. We're down to these participants. And we've got Pizzapotamus, who did return last week, playing against Hierophilos.
This will be interesting. Hyro, one of the newer players to the tournament this year. I think this is the first spring tournament he's in. I don't know. Pizza, though, routed very well. I was very impressed with Pizza's routing when they came back. Of course, they weren't here week 1, but week 2 put on quite a show.
Yeah, and now, Triskel, you played with Hyro last night, so you got a little bit of knowledge as well that not many people know. Hyro can play this game. I see him getting to at least 3 wins, and I predicted that actually before the tournament. And we don't know a lot about Pizzapotamus. We've said that a million times, and my apologies. But what I did watch of the pizza match was what Falconic just said. Really good routing, good decision making, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, they've both proven themselves at this point, so should be a really good match. Next up, we have Lord Fizzlebeef Going up against, nope, not Falconic, because he's already played Falconic.
You can't have me again, Fizzle.
They
Nope,
tried.
sorry. We have Lord Fizzlebeef versus Tyrannex.
Oh, I talked to Fizzle before today's matches, and we were kind of discussing, okay, who do you want and who do you not want at 1-1? And I'll tell you right now, Tyrannex was on the short list of people that Fizzle thought he's really going to have to do a lot of practice on. Now, he respected all 1-1s. Don't let me kind of make it sound like he was trash talking anyone. He just knew that some of the 1-1s are really going to give him troubles, and Tyrannex was on that list. So what a pair.
Yeah, this is going to be a horse race, Falconic. I'll see you at this match. The tough schedule for both players, really. Like you said, Lord Fizzlebeef drawing certainly you, Falconic. Tyrannex, he played you, Tristal, in the first round, former champion. So this is one of these players is going to 1 and 2. And that's the way it has to be. And look out 1 and 2 when that comes up a week from now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys have history. So, yeah, it's good to see these kinds of matchups come about. Alrighty. We've got coming up next St. Von Jester
Team
versus
Vorpal SVJ.
Tristal.
All right, Tristal, how do you feel about that one? SVJ, he's been getting some seeds in.
Yeah, SVJ definitely has some skills. It's not the best matchup on the board. It's not the worst matchup on the board. Is about how I feel, but yeah, I definitely have to watch out. It might depend a little bit on what gets rolled captain this week and what gets rolled walk the plank. So
SVJ enters the Tristal Fight Club, Will.
Good. That's an angry bear, SVJ. On the good news, SVJ, I watched his match last week, and he banged out an hour 25 win, and he made it look easy. It felt like I was watching Tristal, actually, play that game, and he's been practicing a ton. And SVJ, I think he's really hungry. I think he wants this.
So many people breathing sighs of relief to have Tristal off the board, though.
Yeah, I mean, SVJ is definitely capable of this, no question. So we'll see. I'm going to try to avoid 1 and 2. But as we've witnessed, I am definitely mortal. So, all right, moving on. We've got Trenton versus Asher 1611.
That'll be an interesting match. Asher, one of the new ones, excels at Chaos Rush. Trenton, one of the veterans, he knows the game well. Can Asher translate those quick, short runs into a longer spring tournament one there? Will, do you have a favorite on that one? Can you even pick?
Well, Asher made it to the Final Four of the most recent Chaos Rush tournament, and I believe it was the number 1 seed. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. It was either 1 or 2. It was him and Cheesinator. This is a completely different game. This is revive the power of the orbs, and take out chaos. Does it translate? Yes, but it is a completely different game. What I know is that Trenton's been playing a ton. We've discussed some strategy. He's trying a few different things based upon so-and-so, and it starts a character selection for Trenton. If I had to pick, I would always pick experience.
Yep.
I think this might be a coin toss. I'm going to tune into this one for sure.
All right. Our next matchup, we have Gouda 632 versus Shofuko Machi.
I didn't catch the first name. Who was that?
Gouda 632.
Gouda. This will be interesting. Show's one of the veterans. He's crafty for sure. Had a little bit of a hiccup today in the Randomania bonus stream with a blue screen of death. I certainly hope that doesn't happen during the spring tournament race. Gouda rolls some really, really bad seeds. And if you practice enough of them, maybe it gets you prepared to take on a veteran like Show.
Yeah, the Gouda have been playing a lot. I know Gouda has. It hasn't shown it because I've looked, but been playing a lot. And Show, he's responsible for me being here, and I can't thank him enough. But the thing with Show is that he's been playing a lot of shenanigans lately. And he's much into, like me and you are, Falconic. He's into the entrance shuffle, the floor shuffle, and the craziness. Does that potentially bite him? I don't think so, but I'll be tuning in.
Yeah, you can kind of get your brain rewired to start to really like those harder floor entrance shuffles, you throw something like Swiss, it can trip you up easily.
Yeah, this is a matchup of new school versus old school, so it'll be very interesting to see the result that comes out of this one. All right, next up, we have Falconic versus Spellzap.
Ooh.
Oh, I did not want to run into Spellzap.
You know, I had the schedule last year from the hottest depths of you know where. You know, it was you, Tristal, Azardia in my first match, Edgeworth, Red Hot Ickman Maya, and then a paired up match against Fizzlebeef. Falconic, welcome to my world last year. You do not have it easy, and because Spellzap's a player, and I think Spellzap wants this.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I've watched Spellzap play. He is a better player than I am. There's just no doubt about it. I'm a good player. I like to think that I'm an all around a good player, but he's whatever it is. Spellzap has it, and I would put my first 3 matches up against anyone for the hardest draw of the tournament so far. I would combat Tyrannix's Fizzle Crab Cakes into Spellzap. All I can say is, Spell, I hope you're into weird stuff, because I would certainly like to keep that streak going.
Alrighty, well, I'm sure there'll be some people in chat disputing your hardest path comments, but I'll let them gripe about it while we come up with our next matchup. We've got Len the Cat, and his opponent is Zardia.
Oh, Will. Battle of the old school.
Yeah, this is a rematch from Highlander. Actually, I think they're playing right now. In the Highlander tournament, if I'm not mistaken, they know each other very well.
Yeah, this is actually pretty interesting, because somebody will have to break the news to them while they're racing, although they may not be watching chat.
Yeah, and we're being told by Triton in your chat, Tristal, that Len the Cat took out Zardia in Highlander, apparently. So
Ooh.
congratulations.
Well, that Zardia might be out for revenge, or Len might be feeling himself a little bit and might be totally ready for this upcoming match in round 3. All right, only a few more 1-1s left, and then somebody's going to get paired down. Who will it be? Next up is Jay Coper versus Doogie MacGyver.
So Jay Coper got the free win in week 1 because pizza, ran smack face first into Edgeworth in round 2. Doogie MacGyver, though, one of the newer members of our community, Will, here. Again, another matchup of the old school versus the new school. I haven't gotten a chance to see too many of Doogie's runs here, but at 1-1 for your first tournament, that's certainly a good start.
Yeah, Doogie's saving and counter manipulation I didn't see coming. He's been playing a lot. I think it's very similar to Gouda in a similar situation, like we talked about before, playing a lot behind the scenes and has been watching a lot. We've seen Doogie MacGyver in the chat forever. Love the name. Great guy. Comes in. He says, I want to play ball. You want to play ball, you jump on the field and you're going to play ball in Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Alrighty, just a few more 1-1s left. Next up, we've got DD Gaming versus no, come on, random.org.
Not himself.
Not again. DD Gaming versus Arson Horse.
That's going to be interesting. Arson Horse, fresh off a win over Moist Mogwai last night, was a pretty straightforward seed for him. He didn't run into too much adversity, so you really got to see his routing come into play. I think finished a little over an hour and a half, which is a very respectable time for these flags. DD Gaming, though, another old school runner. Arson Horse was certainly a newcomer last year and tore through the Swiss in the brackets, but DD, though, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Arson Horse went to the Tristal MTG High Spirits School of Menuing. And it's a player right there. And DD, we don't see a lot of them. But, you know, at 1-1, I think he's been practicing a little bit. I saw a difference from week 1 to week 2, so we'll see.
All right, so we've got our final 1-1 mirror matchup. The remaining participant will get paired down to the O2s to terrorize them. We've got Wab going up against Woat.
Battle of the W's, Wab versus Woat. Woat picked up his first win against Caleb last week because we saw yet another dangerous Topher that wiped Caleb and allowed Woat to get the comeback here. Wab, though, don't overlook Wab. I think Woat knows that he can't just cruise to a win this week. I think he's going to have to work for it.
Yeah, it's the battle of the four-letter W words. I don't know if I can call this one. I might call Warmack Walmart again.
It'll tongue tie you for sure.
Alrighty.
So Elastoid gets paired down.
Yep, that leaves Elastoid. And then, unfortunately, somebody gets paired up versus him, but it's not going to be Melee Wizard because they have already been paired up this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So if we happen to roll Melee Wizard, we will re-roll. All right, we've got Elastoid versus Rumblefish 82.
Interesting. Rumblefish, I know the 0-2 record on there makes it look like he's having a bit of a hard time. Rumblefish is one of the more improved players from last year, and I think that I can say that without any hesitation whatsoever, Will.
I couldn't agree more. It is Fish and Lord of the Synth. They both come a long way. Rumblefish, I've said it before about him. He will never give in.
Mm-hmm.
Never. And you can never ever rule him out. And Elastoid, one of the most underrated players. I've said that before too. And I expect a nice matchup here. Can't wait to see it.
All right, so our astute chat monsters will notice that we have 11 people remaining, which means there will be one lucky person who gets the bye. So we shall see who that is. Will it be Justice for Melee Wizard for getting paired up? We'll see. Coming up next, we've got Caleb going up against Twitch and Chilled.
Two brand new runners, Will.
You know, we've had a couple matches. The one we had last week, Sonny Wrath and Melee Wizard. I looked at that and I'm like, I want to call this one. I want to get on it. I love the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I think the same thing when I see this right here. Someone's going to get their first win. And you know what? I don't know what either player expects from this tournament. I don't know what their expectations or goals are. It should always be to have fun, mind you. But someone's going to get their first win. And they're both brand new. And from what I've seen, other than Caleb, you know, giving me a heart attack almost, even match. And it reminds me of last week.
Yeah, I think Caleb is a grand total of 2 minutes away from being 2-0. Took you down to the wire, took Woat down to the wire. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. So Twitch and Chill, sorry, buddy. I think you got the unfair shakeout here because you're going up against an 0-2 that is not 0-2.
I can tell you also that TNC has been playing a lot behind the scenes as well, and I know this.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. Caleb, I don't know how much he has played. I think we're only on, we can count him on one hand how many games he's played. So I would actually give the advantage to TNC potentially in this match just based upon experience.
Alrighty. Just a few more matches left. We'll see if random.org blesses us all. Coming up, we've got Moist Mogwai going up against Magius.
That's an interesting one. Magius, of course, well known for the Magius path. The extended open progression. He's got the right ideas. He understands the game in an aspect that way to try to throw out some new ideas. Moist Mogwai took Shadow down to the wire in week 1 and then ran face first into just one of the grosser marsh caves that you've ever seen last night. So that's a good matchup. I think it's a fair matchup, Will.
And right after that, she ran right into the waterfall. RNG was certainly not on her side in those two matches. And, you know, Magius, I've played with Magius before, author of the Magius Passage.
Mm-hmm.
It will forever be known Final Fantasy Randomizer no matter what. So if you ask me, actually a legend versus a legend. with Moise Magwai and all the work that she does. Can't wait to see it.
Alrighty. One of our next two participants will be getting a win in this matchup. The other will be going to 0-3. We've got Captain Nerd 2 versus Greggly Puff.
Well, the good news here is that the black belt is not going to walk the plank this upcoming round, so Greggly Puff's certainly going to be happy about that as he takes on Nerd, who's also been playing a lot behind the scenes, trying to get involved and playing a lot of practice as well.
Yeah, I think the only thing I could say here is, Nerd, you might want to brush up on just flying through with a mage party or adapting the black belt yourself, because I promise you're going to see it from Greggly.
Yeah, and Nerd, if you've watched me before and you know what it is that I do, go to Greggly Puff's channel and watch his videos. It'll give you all the information that you need to know.
He shares everything. It's right for the picking.
All right. 5 people remaining, all crossing their fingers that they don't get paired up. Who do we have next? We've got Ali Gerbrap going up against Melee Wizard.
That'll be an interesting one here. Ali, of course, one of the old school veterans, knows the game very well at this point. There's not a lot of knowledge out there that he hasn't accrued over the years. Melee Wizard, though, I don't know. He'll surprise you. I think this might be one of the ones where I don't go towards experience. But I mean, I've been wrong 1,000 times already, so we'll see how that one shakes out.
Yeah, 2 crew members, longtime crew members for Final Fantasy. No, Melee Wizard plays a lot of other games too. Is he in focus for this tournament? I do think that he is. Nelly Gerbrap's been here forever, always in focus. I think another even matchup.
I agree.
All right, we're down to 3. One of these players will get the bye this round. The other 2 will be sad that they did not. We've got Mezada versus Kyuketsuki.
Mezada versus Kiyu. Kiyu, again, one of our background guys, is almost always in the volunteering scheduling room, offering to restream, to track, to commentate. Mezada, though, newer player, if I recall correctly, ran into Trenton, I believe it was, in week 1, had a bit of a rough go. But I like this one. Kiyu, he knows I talk to him not as often as I do some of the other runners, but Kiyu's the type of guy that will make some of the stranger plays, but he also can get a little bit tilted if things don't go his way. So there's definitely an opening there for Mezada.
Mezada reminds me last year of Rumblefish and Lord of the Synth. Not going to give up and is already improving very rapidly from what it was that I saw. Came from YouTube, been watching the videos, been listening to these voices for quite a long time, and this is could be an upset. We'll see. Q with the experience, Mezada, I think, with definitely the hunger and trying to learn that knowledge. You know, Q's been so busy helping us behind the scenes. We can't thank him enough. Guy does everything, and you ask him, oh yeah, I'll take care of it, and it's unbelievable. Does that distract Q potentially? What the forced and banned classes have to do with this match, I think, might help tell the tale a little bit more.
And Braxis gets the bye because of that.
Yeah, Braxis is going to immediately move to 1-2. Braxis, if you're out there and you just wanted to do any race this week, I know there's plenty of people in Discord that would be happy to do 1v1. I know Will Bloodworth especially was looking to do some exhibition matches, so you might reach out to them. But congratulations on your bye. You are now 1-2 and that much closer to the playoffs.
GG, Brax.
GG. Before we move on to the forced, the captain in the walk the plank character, I do want to point out we're getting a little bit of an update here on the admin side that Crimbot was able to, Crim was able to get the bot back up and running and upgraded. So keep your eyes out for some news on that. But Crimbot is back with us.
All right, so chats, now is the time. Get your Bless RNGs ready. We've got a new captain coming along. Black Mage cannot be the captain this week. Get those Bless RNGs and bribes ready. because it's been proven that they work. This week was wonderful. But it's time to move on. Black Mage's reign has come to an end. And we can have our week 1 captain back. It's only week to week that they can't repeat. So if we happen to get, I believe, what was it, White Mage that was captain in week 1?
Yep,
that is possible. 20% chance of happening. We'll see what random.org blesses us with. All right, chat, are you ready? Put your picks in chat now. Get your predictions out. Our captain for week 3 is Red Mage. All right. And Red Mage likes Black Belt, will definitely not make them walk the plank. But somebody else has to pay the price. And we'll see who that is. Of course, Red Mage cannot also walk the plank. That would be silly. So if we roll Red Mage or if we roll Black Belt, we will re-roll. Come on, random.org. Make it happen just one time, not 6. All right. Our band class this week is Black Mage. Going all the way from captain to walking the plank.
So, unfortunately, what you're going to see are some very standard and generic parties. I think routing, decision-making are going to come into play here. This week is pretty much a freebie when it comes to the captain and the plank walker.
Tristal, would you say that there was a mutiny on the bounty?
100%. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
It's all about diversity, apparently, instead of just going straight up. I only specialize in one magic school. No, both magic schools is the way to go. I don't know about this makes for cookie cutter parties by any means. I mean, losing Black Mage is a real thing. Just about everybody runs Black Mage. So, this is definitely not an easy freebie, I don't think. Captain Red Mage, I know a lot of people were looking forward to possibly a banned Red Mage. So we'll see that potentially in the coming weeks. But not necessarily having access to Nuke or Fast or Temper or Warp. I mean, these are real things that can happen in a match. So definitely could be interesting.
We shall see. I like the matchups so far. I don't like mine, but I like the matchups I see here on paper, and I think we're going to have an amazing week 3.
Yeah, to point out a few, I definitely want to see WAT. I did it already. Wab and Woat, for sure. I want to see Caleb and TNC go at it. SVJ impressed me so much last week. I want to see him against you, Tristal, certainly. Lord Fizzlebeef and Tyrannex is going to be, I think, a classic between 2 thoroughbreds.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And I like my match as well. I think it's going to be good and competitive. Wicleosis and Tarnin, first time.
Yep, I would say my pick of the week might be DD Gaming versus Arson Horse. They're both 1-1. They both got something to prove. And they will definitely fight tooth and nail to try and make it to 2-1. All right, so there you have it, everyone. I will post the new flag set in Discord momentarily. And of course, I will post this to YouTube as soon as I can and copy the pairings so that everybody who didn't watch this reveal show will be able to see those as well. Again, your captain this week is Red Mage, your band class Black Mage. So good luck with that, everybody. May the Trislug bless your run. Hopefully I'll have it bless mine this week. Fellas, anything else to say?
Just wanted to point out, for those that are looking for the Discord link, I see Chrono asking there in chat. If you head over to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com, it'll list the Discord as well as all the other information you need to get yourself started up and running. Certainly want to send out a huge thanks again to Crim for getting that Crimbot back up and running. I know it was kind of a adjustment that we had to make on the fly along the way, but we powered through. And I'm looking forward to some of these week 3 matches. Hopefully I can get a call on some of them here.
All right, everyone. Good luck. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you shortly this week. You can begin scheduling your matches immediately, and you have through next Sunday to complete your week 3 match. Also, I want to make a special note. If you decide you aren't having any fun in the tournament and you are done playing, please notify me personally on Discord, and I can have you dropped so that nobody next round gets a free win, because most people want to be playing in the tournament and having fun rather than just
Nothing
having
more
no
important
matchup.
than that.
Mhm.
Nothing more important. Get out there and enjoy it and have a blast doing it. Because if you're not having fun, let Crystal know. Very important.
All right, everybody. Best of luck to everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Good luck in your matches and have a great week.